Jamie Wright, how are you?
Good. How are you doing, Dave?
I'm doing great. It's great to have you back here.
Thanks.
I really enjoyed your presentation on getting real.
Yeah.
Summarize that presentation for me.
So the presentation was titled "Getting Real with Consulting," and really it takes the concepts from a company called 37 Signals, who built Basecamp as their flagship product, and Ruby on Rails. Actually, Rails came from that product. But they have a lot of philosophy and a lot of controversial ideologies and things. And
we like controversy in this show.
Yeah, and they apply these concepts to building a web-based product. And they have a weblog, Signal versus Noise, and Getting Real is their book that they produced, which is a collection of their blogs and workshops that they've done.
Okay.
And the talk just basically takes some of those concepts, rolls them up in some cases, and just gears them towards like a service-oriented business like consulting.
Okay, give me a couple of samples of these concepts.
So a concept that is real big is basically, I titled it "Don't Be Like Dog the Bounty Hunter."
Dog the Bounty Hunter from television.
It's from television. So if you ever watch the show, there's a lot of process that he goes through to catch a person that just basically skip bond.
Okay.
And the whole show, 25 minutes of the show is him getting ready to capture this guy. And it just shows how much process is involved, and that's kind of the opposite of what I believe should be a well-run consulting company. Because if you have too much process and you have too many people involved, you're going to waste your customers' time and money.
Okay, so lots of process is great for filling up a half hour of TV,
Yes.
but not good if your customers' time is involved.
Yes, and take simple things like F meetings. Don't believe in meetings with customers that take an hour of their time when they could take 15 minutes. Processes of vacation request forms and processes like time tracking, extraneous time tracking and detailed time tracking that really doesn't add to the bottom line, and you're just wasting, again, your customers' money.
Okay, so when you say don't be like Dog the Bounty Hunter, don't clutter up your process with non-essential tasks.
Right.
Just cut down to the things that actually add value. Spend your time on those.
Right.
Okay. Well, you can't argue with that. I can't argue with that.
Right, but that's the problem. Is a lot of companies just go through these processes, and that's because it's the way it's been done. So instead of scheduling, the problem with like Outlook and Gmail and all these calendar applications is the default time limit when you add an event is a half hour. Well, that's what 90% of the people do when they request a meeting, is a half hour when 10 minutes would do.
Oh, okay.
So just be mindful of things like that don't add value.
Okay. What else?
Hiring. So I have a slide titled "Strangers at a Cocktail Party," which it really comes from a blog post that 37 Signals did, and the idea is a cocktail party is full of colleagues that you have that you don't really know, that you have nothing in common with. The event is pretty boring. You're just making small chit chat, and really what you want is the opposite of that. You don't want a cocktail party. You want like an evening with friends where people are challenging your ideas and saying, "Hey, that idea is stupid," and having good arguments, and it feels like you've accomplished something at the end of the event, rather than a cocktail party. And that often happens when you hire people that don't share your views of your company and your culture, and and you don't get those types of things from resumes or common things that companies do to hire people.
All right, so this is a mandate more on the type of people that you need to hire. You want to hire people that share your philosophy.
Yes.
You don't spend a lot of time in idle chit chat. You want to spend your time talking about the things that you're all committed to and
Yeah.
moving in the same direction.
If your company believes in unit tests and TDD or BDD or whatever it is that you believe in,
Okay.
then hire people that believe in that same thing.
Well, can you just hire people and just tell them to do unit tests? And
No, because they're not going to be happy. You're not going to be happy, and it's just not going to be a good match. Actually, Zappos, the company that just got recently bought by Amazon, had a philosophy which I just found out that they'll actually pay you money to leave. So if you're not happy, they'll pay you money to
are
leave.
they hiring right now?
I don't know. I think Jeff,
Sounds like a great job.
Yeah. So the idea is that they don't want to get bad customer service, for example, because
Right.
you hate your job.
So it's cheaper for them to just pay you the money to shut up and go away than it is to keep you there, hindering their performance, like bringing everybody else down.
Exactly.
Like, this is the idea.
And it's hard to find those type of people.
Mhm.
But some ideas is look on Twitter, people that you follow, that your colleagues follow, that you agree with their views. Look at blog posts. Look at open source projects. Look at people's codes that they've contributed to open source projects, and
Mhm.
do they write the same style of code that you look for?
That's a great point. I've been spending a lot more time just networking with the developer community the last couple of years,
Mhm.
getting to know who's out there and who they are. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of advantages to doing that, and I think one of them is what you just described. Is just
Yeah.
when you need to work with somebody, you'll know who those like-minded people are. You'll know people's philosophy without going through an interview process. Probably much better than going through an interview process.
Yep.
Yeah. Great. Another one?
Hire the right customers.
Don't the customers hire us?
Yeah, but you in turn also hire the customer. So you want to work with customers that are like-minded and share your ideals as well. If your company doesn't stand for meetings and you're working with a customer that loves meetings and that's burned into their culture to create meetings to talk about everything, it's not going to be a pleasure to work with them.
Mm.
And those are also hard to weed out, but you have to look at other areas of their company. Look at their things like their dress code. Look at look at how many meeting rooms they have. If you don't like meetings, look at and just things that they share.
Sure, maybe their philosophy on testing might be a big deal. How
Mhm.
aggressive are they with their schedule, quality versus delivery versus...
Ask about other projects they've had with other consultants and how they delivered and what they felt about that.
So if you say ask, you're talking about asking up front
Mhm.
before you even hire
Right,
a customer.
right, and that kind
learn that
of
ahead of time.
Yeah, learn that ahead of time because it's going to be a pain to work with. And if you find people in that organization that, you may have people in an organization that don't fit into the entire organization, then find ways to kind of work around that if they're involved in the project.
Okay.
That doesn't mean shut down communication or do some bad things. Just find people to replace them.
Right.
And that kind of goes hand in hand with make it easy for your customer to get out. So like one thing that we don't do is like a lot of upfront fees and big, large, long contracts and things. And that may not work with consulting companies that have a large accounting department that look at your accounts receivable and see nothing, for sure coming in. So we work on like two week contracts.
Yeah, so now you're the owner of a small consulting company,
Yes.
so you have a lot of flexibility now.
We have a lot of flexibility, and so we work on 2 week contracts. If you like us for 2 weeks, you can hire us for another 2 weeks.
Mhm.
If you don't like what we did in those 2 weeks, you can fire us. Or if we don't like, if you're a pain to work with,
You can fire the customer.
We'll fire the customer. It's never happened in either case, but that's just gives the customer warm and fuzzy.
Okay. All right, give me one more. We got time for one more.
So one of the slides is titled "Be more like a Swedish furniture company," and of course I'm talking about IKEA.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of goes hand in hand with one of the things I love about IKEA is their directions. Their directions solve multiple problems. and kind of gear your documents towards being more like IKEA's. And then your customers will read those documents. An example is we're working on right now a proposal, and we used to do, and we still do, written proposals, 2-3 page proposals. Not a lot of clutter, not a lot of words, but still it's a problem. So what we're experimenting with now is a video proposal. And we think it's going to be, the customer might like the creativity. They're actually going to read it. They're going to watch it. Okay. And if they don't like it, oh well. It was fun. It's fun for us to do. We're doing something
Video's
different.
fun.
Video's fun. So,
so this is like, so IKEA is known for their very simple instructions to put together their furniture.
Right.
Very few words, a lot of pictures.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to spend hours in the backyard building the thing.
Yeah, and that solves a lot of problems like less customer support calls. They don't have to worry about multiple languages because everything's a picture and a number. It forces actually their furniture to be more easy to install, because if you can't capture how to install the piece of furniture in a couple page document, then they probably work with designers to rework their design.
Okay, great. When are you going to do this presentation next?
Oh, DevLink, August 13th through 15th, and I'll be presenting on the 15th, 10:30 a.m. I think I'm scheduled for. So.
All right, DevLink in Nashville. I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
All right, thanks a lot. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Dave.
I got one more thing.
Yes.
Before you go, I want you to use the words technology and friends in a sentence. Go.
Oh, Lord. Wow. I have a lot of friends in technology.
Outstanding. Thanks.
All right, that was horrible.